I messed up. This life disc has everything and more to show. Life form, a human baby, embryo. The division of cells, that's what that was. This is a human embryo, formed, already fully formed. When we talk about abortion and shit, you already have a life form at that stage, which is only few days forming. Look, even in Da Vinci Dio, the human body, check it out. This is amazing. This is amazing, man. Wow, look at this. This is incredible. It's a teaspoon at the same time. And what the heck is this? It's a stingray, but it's all perfectly designed. What how they call the golden ratio. That explains everything in life, that we are connected. In fact, we're living inside God. What the universe and everything is, and us and everything, we're living inside the brain of what we call God, the Creator. So now it makes sense, all the things that are floating in space around Earth that I could not understand before. Now I starting to comprehend why. It's like that's the connective tissue, and we are our planets are like little atoms inside that gigantic, incredible brain of God, the Creator. That's why He knows, see, and feel everything, just like we do. That's when you call, you can talk to Him every single second of your life, because we are connected to Him all the time. We don't die. We just keep on. We move on to another stage. When they say that we reincarnate, I don't know about that deal. It's kind of complex. Might be just like we touch on some consciousness that happened to pass when we were starting our life cycle in this physical realm. Now, this deal here is kind of troublesome to me. This entity, evidentially, this is some kind of entity with a tail, long tail, and wings type. Might be an angel, might be something else. Now, the other life forms that are here are very similar to each other, with some exception, but they're all alike. Where you see the circle drawn around them, there you go. If you look at the circles and the how do you call it, the scale and the lattice next to it, it's all very, very similar. And when we get to this more complex life form right here, that's what they're matching, both of them. And the one on the right, he has what the other on top had, and the one on the right of him at the bottom has this one, and this one has all of that this one had, and all of them up here this one have it, all of them. So you can surmise what would that be? An entity that has a wing, tail, and everything that everything else has. From a tadpole to a sperm to all the life forms that start usually in the same exact type. In one embryo of a chicken, of a pig, dinosaur, no, a reptile or anything, they all look exactly alike when they are at a certain stage, in the early moments. It's very difficult to differentiate. That's when the cells divide in different ways and becomes what the being is going to be in the later stages. That's when you are a geneticist, then you really grasp how to manipulate that, which is what the Anunnaki, Enki did at that time, except that he did it in such a hurry that he left for 4,600 errors in our chromosomic lattice. I don't know what else to put it like, but this is what this guy does. I bet you he's going to be talking about exactly what I just said. I've never seen or heard this interview before, but let's see what he said. Now that rock right there has some incredible information. If you really study the symbols and the geometrical patterns, then you realize that this is not just a simple rock. It has the front side, it looks like a reptile. The top look like a humanoid type form, but it has, look at the smile, the teeth, but it has it's like a Rosetta Stone. It has a lot of information in it, on it. This is the other side of that stone. See what I'm saying? It has a lot of geometrical patterns that may signify a lot of things. People just lost touch with nature and with everything else. We have been electronically manipulated in our daily life. Now we only care about what car you're gonna drive, the clothes, bunch of crap. We are a slave of a freaking entity that is manipulating our leaders, and there is the people that knows about all this stuff is just leading us to the fucked up path. Eating meat is totally wrong to begin with. That is dirtying our auras, which is the energy that really counts. And our soul and shit, that's what really counts. It reflects on everything else. That's why when they exploded those atomic weapons, that's when the lie went on everywhere. Oh, these people the monkeys are messing with bad shit. Let's go and see what's going on.
Also Klaus Dauna, and Klaus is a maverick archaeologist investigating the mysterious past that the powers that be don't want you to know about of humanity. And we are very happy to be here today in Vienna. And Klaus, tell us something about your beginnings and how you got into this amazing field.
Several years ago, in 1987, I started with my first cultural exhibition from Austria to Japan, and in the last 20 years I did more than 25 culture exhibitions like about the House of Habsburg, like Rubens and his time, Gustav Klimt and many others, mainly in Japan. And on my trips to Japan and back and in the hotel room sometimes, I was reading many books from very great authors about mysterious objects they found all over the world. And I have to tell you, at the beginning I was the most skeptic man of all. I didn't believe many of those things by myself. And so one day I thought it might be the best to make an exhibition with many of those artifacts in Vienna, and the scientists, they would have the chance to make a research on them, and we could find out if those artifacts are real, old, or new made one. And so 1997 we started with my friend Reinhard Habeck. We started researching strange artifacts all over the world, and from the beginning on we were mainly concentrated only on artifacts which are in museums. So we found on our research in between 1.5 years, we found about 350 artifacts, and a museum director, a friend of mine, asked those museums if we could lend those artifacts for our exhibition 2001 in Vienna. After returning all the letters, the answers, we got one artifact accepted, and all the other artifacts could not be lended because of not in a good condition or used by themselves or many excuses. So everybody told me it's better you give up this project because it's impossible to get these artifacts. And as I never give up so easy, we started then 1.5 years before the planned schedule of the exhibition, researching by ourselves. We went to South America, to Mexico, to United States. We researched on internet, contacted East Asia and many countries in the world, and collectors and museums, other museums, and finally on the day of opening on 21st of June 2001, we could show in Vienna 470 strange artifacts.
That sounds, Klaus, that must have been a really interesting personal journey for you, because if I understand you right, in a period of about 1.5 years, your learning curve about these objects and what they meant must have been almost vertical as you encountered more and more information and talked to more and more people.
I would say it was hell. It was really tough.
But it sounds like it's fascinating. Why was it so hard?
Because first of all you have to find those artifacts, then you have to talk with the owners, with the museums, you have to build up trustable, you have to show that you are really serious, that you are able to do such an exhibition, and that's thanks of my experience in culture exhibitions. I could prove that I was handling like original paintings of Rubens, millions of dollars worth, so I could prove that I can handle very valuable artifacts, and finally we could really get 470, and I did not expect that all those artifacts, we had some scientists helping us, checking if those artifacts are original, and we never found they never found out that there is some new made artifact with it. So I changed from skeptic to really big surprised, and it was like once you go into this world and you find out that there are so many so interesting artifacts all over the world, you want to know more and more and more, and since those years I'm still researching, I'm still traveling, and the money I earn with my culture exhibitions I spend for the research and for the travel, for the travel expenses and all those things.
Isn't this this because you were an expert on art to begin with, that you had the